I've basically distilled the exact framework that I am currently using to scale my company. I've already achieved over $20 million in agency revenue, $6 million in product sales, but I believe I am about to 10x those numbers thanks to the power of AI. Level 4 is taking this to an economy of scale. What do I mean by an economy of scale? And this is very, very important. It's essentially the same business model as before. You're taking an arbitrage, but you are compounding it by using AI to scale to become a real business that commands enterprise value. Because the thing is, businesses aren't just judged or valued on their revenue. They are valued at a multiple. For example, if you're making 10K MRR, you could potentially command a $400,000 to $700,000 valuation if you raise capital, if you scaled it in the correct way. Because value equals profit times a multiple. The multiple could be 1x, 3x, 6x, 10x plus with a lot of AI niches and a lot of AI products. But the only way to do it is this. Firstly, you cannot be dependent on yourself as a founder. You need to implement the AI systems we've been discussing so the market that you're operating in is not dependent on you. Because if that is the case, then a buyer will not be interested in paying a huge multiple. So even with my business, we're distributing products, we're distributing hosts, we're distributing things away from just me as a founder. So, I'm the face and I'm able to market, but I'm not the only one in the back end because that is going to kill our multiple. Because a model like that relies on the founder to basically execute one-off projects, one-off consulting, and that will put off potential buyers. So you need to create basically an army of agents that can fulfill for you. And obviously, as you start making money, you just need to start hiring staff. I'm actually not against hiring real staff. I think VAs are great. I think even poaching top talent is great, both ends of the spectrum. But I do think people need to contribute agents to your business. I'll show you that in a second, as opposed to just being, bystanders or single employees. I think you all need to tap in to the systems that you build. Then you want to stack the memory and workflow stack on top of this. And then to actually grow the multiple, you need to invest your revenue into the highest value growth vectors in your business. What are the things that are going to generate you more capital? Is it ad spend? Is it more top of funnel strategies? Is it spending more on AI? Is it scaling up to get better employees and talent? You want to aggressively reinvest. And this is something a lot of founders get wrong. In the beginning, they'll start making some money, making 10K, 20K a month, 30K a month. They'll pocket it for themselves. They'll spend it on lifestyle. If you just can suck it up for a few more months and just reinvest into more AI tokens, more capital, more scaling, human capital, AI capital, whatever it is, you will grow so much faster. Even for me, my next $2 million that I make, I'm putting at least $1 million of that back into the business. Why? Because I can compound more with AI in my business than I can investing in the stock market and making 10 to 15% a year right now. That is literally the truth with AI. It is the best time ever to build a business. The best time ever. That is what you need to be focusing on right now. It is the best time ever. This video, though, the logic here doesn't apply to just business owners. If you are an employee of another company and you want to level up your skill set, you start building this stuff for yourself. How much more valuable to that company are you going to become? You're going to have so much leverage. And the value marketplace, when you're an employee, is all just about leverage. Now, I believe we are heading towards a new world, as you can see on the bottom, with a new organization chart. It won't just be 6 people with 6 outputs. It's now going to be 3 people with 30 outputs, because each person plugs into a system managing AI agents, and companies more and more will look for taste. This person, they need to have taste. They need to know what to tell the AI. They need to know how to tweak the skill. They need to know how to fix or just brute force or think laterally and fix issues so that agents can compound and take over the rest. So everyone in a company and everyone in your company will essentially become a manager of agents, because that is how you're going to scale revenue, and that is how you're actually going to command a big multiple versus just being a single founder, which just isn't scalable at all. Now, if you actually look at the economy of scale for my business, and this isn't my exact numbers, but these are what I would consider to be a bear case with what we're doing, a mid case and a bull case, you can see that once we are distributed, the multiple will basically stack much higher than the income. So in a bear case, we're making $420K a month. The value of our company is still $6 million. The mid case implies a valuation of $32 million based on $1.4 million a month. And it's broken down into sponsorships, products, consulting, ad revenue, software IP. I'm doing a lot more than that, also VC, etc. But you can see the mid value. And to get to 100 million valuation, you don't need to make 100 million. You only need to make 2.9 million a month. I know it's still a lot of money at a small multiple. At a bigger multiple, it could be 1 million a month. It depends how decentralized you become, how valuable you become, what's your moat. moat, how erodable by AI or changeable is your moat, due to AI. I think distribution is, once you crack it, is quite a massive moat, but obviously there are threats to that as well. So that will all impact your valuation. But you can see how we're using economies of scale to accrue a much bigger valuation. So going from level 3, where you found an arbitrage, to level 4 is all about scaling the business enough and creating enough IP and decentralizing away from yourself enough to actually command a big enough profit multiple so you can actually get a partial acquisition or a full acquisition. But a partial acquisition for me would mean I get to reinvest more into the business. And then it becomes a flywheel because I can get to way more than 2.9 million a month, because now I'm reinvesting back into the business. I'm spending more on ads. I'm hiring better talent. I'm buying more infrastructure. Instead of paying editors small retainers, I'm, buying entire agencies or editor farms or whatever to put out more content that gets my cost per video down. This is all economies of scale. It's this growth mindset that you have to think about.